So because of this diet series, I really want to be able to film every single week. So I went and got a membership at my old gym from about 2 years ago, if you used to be on the channel during my last contest prep, because this place is an old school gym and they completely don't care if I bring my camera. So I went in here for my first day. It was chest day. And so I got all my warm-ups done. I was using the band. I was rolling my chest out with the softball, all that good stuff. After I got through all my warm-ups, I went and hit the bench press because it is a little bit of a different bench press. It has a very thick padding. So it's just a little bit different, but it felt super good. I was able to really find that groove for myself. And I was able to use 185 pounds without losing my form and feeling impingement at all. And I didn't want to go up any further. I didn't want to go to 225 because that's when I start getting shaky and that's when my form is questionable. So I want to keep rocking with 185 until I can really strongly say that I can move up without having any tightness lost.
So I want to show you this little prep exercise I do before I hit a bench press. This is really just to train my scapula and my shoulder blades to move properly. So you'll see with my arms completely straightened, I try to allow my shoulders to move back without bending my elbow. Now that's really, really freaking hard. It took a long time to get used to that. But that sets the scapula in the first spot that they should go. And then as I'm lowering my chest down to the bar, I'm thinking about dropping my shoulders as low as they can so my traps are not contracted at all. And then I'm going to try to pull those bottom points of the scapula as close together as possible. Then I try to memorize this feeling and replicate it in the actual range of motion when I'm bench pressing.
So for those of you who deal with shoulder impingements too, and stay away from benching and pressing, or it's just something that's hard for you, a tip that is really connecting me right now, doesn't always connect me, but right now, is to think of the bottom, that point of your shoulder blade, right? Like it's a triangle. Think of that bottom point down here on both sides. Think about squeezing those together as if that is the exercise. As if when you're holding dumbbells over your chest, that's actually just weight for those two tips to come together. And as you think about just keeping that pulled tight together as you go through the movement, you don't have to think about it, but your arms will articulate and go the right way. And I got a really good chest pump right now, but all I'm thinking about is my back.
Because of my shoulder impingements, I do have to be careful with not overworking my chest and not overdoing the amount of angles and different things that I'm doing. So the last exercise that I'm doing is a little combination of that shoulder pinch thing that I was showing you that I prepare for bench with. So just kind of like an incline push-up with the intent of fatiguing my chest out. Then I went and did some shrugs and I stopped filming and I finished with front raises, side raises, and tricep extensions, as well as overhead dumbbell tricep extension.
If you've ever started cardio suddenly when you haven't been doing it a lot, you know exactly what I'm feeling. 10 minutes feels like a lot, man. Luckily my body conditions quickly, so 15, 20 as we move forward in the weeks will be, it'll be okay and appropriate and my body will be able to adapt. But man, it's a different routine having cardio back in. It feels really good though. I love getting my heart going and I love feeling sweaty and stuff, so I'm excited to be back here. I almost always do Stairmaster for cardio because it's so effective, but today I want to use ellipticals just because it's kind of secluded up here and I kind of want to listen to my music and not have to set up the camera around people. So 10 minutes of steady state right now. In the future part of this diet, if I need to break my cardio up to make it more intense or just to give my body a change, I'll implement something called HIIT, which I have a video about if you want to check it out, but it's basically just high intensity interval training. So you go high intensity, low intensity, high intensity, low intensity, instead of steady state throughout the whole thing. But at first, until I hit a plateau, I always start with steady state.
So a lot of you guys have been watching me for a while and you know how I set up my diets. I love when it's a diet time, when it's time to cut, lose weight. I love to go with the same meals over and over because it guarantees you to have the same macros, the same calories, and you start to get to know what's in the food that you're eating and it just takes out the guesswork. So you might have seen this in a full day eating recently. This is my homemade chili, which is full of corn, beans, garbanzo beans, peppers, mushrooms, lots of different seasonings and stuff. This is a huge diet tip. Eat similar foods when you're dieting and keep the variety out because it'll keep you on track more, and then keep the variety for the times when you have more calories to play with when you're bulking.
A lot of you guys have asked me, do I use any sort of a pre-workout before my workouts? And I used to take it every single day. I would take pre-workout. Now I'll take a pre-workout probably once every 10 to 15 workouts. And that's really just because I want one workout to be like crazy. But now what I usually do is I drink a coffee, and so I have some special holiday roast right here. But I drink coffee because it's just straight caffeine, and that's it. My pre-workouts have all sorts of different stimulants like synephrine and 1,3-dimethylamine and guarana and like all sorts of different ones. So when you take a pre-workout, you're not taking caffeine, you're taking all sorts of different things plus caffeine, and I don't think it's the healthiest. So I try to restrict when I use that to when I really feel like having a crazy workout versus using it every workout.
All right, so as some of you guys know, I've been battling scoliosis for my whole life, but about 2-3 years ago, I stopped squatting completely, and I've just recently started putting squats and deadlifts back into my workout, probably around 3 or 4 months ago. So I'm, again, relearning that form and getting my strength back up. So right now, 185 is usually what I'm using, and it actually feels pretty good today. And so I'm going to be able to go with 225 and aim for 3 to 5 reps so that I am able to do those strength sets. Sometimes, if my form's not right, I won't force that strength set, because if you're working off of a bad form, you should never do strength sets. If you feel comfortable though, that's when you implement strength sets. I'm struggling with 225. It looks like 400 pounds on someone who's a lot stronger than me. But remember, I'm putting this back in. So don't compare yourself to other people who are in different positions than you. Because I could very well be like, oh, 225. I've seen people do so much more, force 275 or force 315. But then I'll be back to not being able to squat again. Humility.
So 4 sets on squats today. This is the very last one. And you might be thinking like, it's not that much weight. And it's true. For somebody who's been squatting consecutively for months and months and months, it's not that much weight. And it really isn't that much weight. I did 275 with my PT, but it's more so about keeping those muscles tight and keeping my hips from shifting and then pressing through the wrong parts of my body and injuring myself.
So the exercise that you see me doing right now is called a rack pull. It's a very small range of motion, mainly because this rack only has safeties that move by like a foot, and pulling it from down there is the same for me as a rack pull. And the reason that I'm implementing rack pulls is because it really helps my finish position of the squat, and that's where I make my mistake. My hips are always behind me when I come to the top of the squat. So this is training my weakest, or just the part of my range of motion that is not neurologically automatic yet, to get it automatic. Like I said earlier, some strength sets, which we got out of the way with squats. Now we're doing some of those mid-range as well as the high rep range. So I just did 16 with this. I'll probably move the weight up a little bit. Third day of cardio is done. So happy. Next week, move up to 15 minutes instead of 10 minutes. So I'm not super stoked about that. But it does feel really good to work out and get this cardio in. But gosh damn, it's really tough when you first go into your first week of it.
Weigh-in time, or I feel like I should say, hello my fellow gladiators, spectators, and warriors. We are, I would say 94.3, yeah, 94.3, 94.4. So that's like 207-ish pounds or so if my 2.2 multiplication times table is working right. So based on the weigh-in right there, that's actually really looking good, because you're expecting to lose like 5 to 10 pounds when you first start your first week, actually your first couple of weeks, because you're losing water weight because you're not eating as much food, not as much salt, so your body's not retaining as much water, but also you're losing glycogen in your muscles and stuff because you're in a deficit, so your ability to refill your glycogen is gonna be a little bit lower. So usually, in the first couple of weeks, you see more drastic weight change, and then after 2-3 weeks, it kind of stabilizes, normalizes, and then you're looking for that 1 or 2 pounds of weight. So this is completely expected. I'm not gonna change anything about the plan. I'm loving how everything's feeling. I feel like I'm already seeing differences just from the water weight that's changed, and everything seems like right on track. Everything seems perfect. So I'm really excited about this diet series. I know a lot of you guys wanna see Hercules, but for this diet series, because it's so short, I'm not gonna make it a Hercules series, but Hercules will be back when we do the long-term bulk. Anyways, I appreciate the heck out of you guys. It has been a busy week, but I really wanted to get this first episode out to you guys so you can kind of see the plan that's going on. And if any of you guys are following along and dieting as well, that's really awesome. And I wanted to get these tips out there for you if you're dieting. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week, CD.
Lift heavy or die MIRIN, motherfucker.
Team Beyond the Week.